Hi everyone, this is Karen from Create Your Future, and I'm a law of attraction coach and mental health counselor. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about living in the end and some of the success stories that I've received from my clients, both from individual sessions and clients who've taken my course on living in the end, and the success that they've gotten from applying living in the end techniques. So in my course and in my private sessions, I always go over living in the end and how to do that, really focusing in on what is that desired reality, what does that desired relationship look like, feel like for you, like what does that actually mean for you, what is your ideal relationship, circumstance, job, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, and really being in it as opposed to, and thinking from being inside it as opposed to thinking of it like from something that's far away and inaccessible to you or that needs to take time. So the way that I have my clients do this is really focusing on, okay, well, if I was in my desired reality, circumstance, or relationship, insert whichever one that applies to you most right now, what would I be thinking in that reality? What would I be feeling? What would I be doing? How would I be acting? Like, what would I be like there? What would my reality and my circumstances be like? And focusing on that. I usually recommend that my clients do this at least 3 times a day, in addition to like the affirmations that they are doing, and throughout the day as needed. Like most of the time, there's a lot of times in the day where we're just kind of in like a lag time where we're waiting in line or we're waiting for something, and usually during that time we're just thinking about either random stuff or negative things. So instead of taking that time out and using it to your benefit by using it to focus on your desired reality, on your desired relationship, on what you actually want to manifest, and using it to your advantage, gaining momentum towards what you want. So I've had many clients who've told me that after applying the techniques that I very much go in depth in for the Living in the End course, which is what I'm talking about now, but the course goes a lot more in depth into it. And also the clients that I've gone over this in session with, they've gotten results within days. Like they've seen movement within days. Now, I will say a lot of people will have that, and that's happened to me too, where I've applied this and within days, like I've seen massive change, massive shifts. But what happens, and a mistake that a lot of people make, is the second they start to see that movement, they go backwards and they start thinking about all of the, garbage thoughts that they were thinking before and bringing those back into their reality, or they just completely stop doing what they were doing that was getting them to be in the right direction, moving in the right direction. So either they'll completely stop doing the technique and then, things may go backwards because they haven't completely created that as like their dominant belief yet. They were in the process and they saw some evidence. So when you see some evidence, you have to keep going because you're still convincing yourself. You're not convincing anyone else. You're just convincing yourself that that's your true reality. So the second mistake, a similar mistake, is just usually, like, for example, say that, you're thinking about communication with your SP, right? And then you get the message, but then immediately your thought goes back to, oh, but are they going to text me back after this? Like, are we going to keep talking, or is it just going to stop? So right there, you just went backwards. You just went back to your old reality where you think that this person's not communicating, right? So thoughts like these kind of they don't set you back in your manifestation, but they do kind of set you back where they set you back in your mental diet. And that's what sometimes causes this hot and cold behavior, because you were kind of hot with your thoughts and using your techniques and practices and whatever resonates and works for you. But then you saw some movement and then you started to question it and started to think as you were thinking before. And then you see evidence of the old reality again because you had reaffirmed it by thinking about it. So the most important part about this for everyone is when you're seeing movement, keep going, and be aware of your thoughts even in that moment. Because I've had times too where I really wanted to manifest something and I saw movement, and then I was like, oh wait, what's happening next? No, you don't have to ask that question because you got to decide that. So be aware of those moments. And like I said, living in the end strategies are very powerful. Really putting yourself there and thinking about what would I be thinking, what would I be feeling, what would I be doing in that reality, What would it be like for me? What would my experience be like? What would it smell like? Like, use your senses. What would you see? What would you hear in your reality? Would you hear your SP's voice talking to you? Would you hear a certain sound at your job? Like, really putting yourself in that reality. Not thinking of it like, oh, like that would be nice, but it's over there. No, putting yourself in it. That's the most important part. And I have had, like, I remember one time I really focused on doing like Living in the End, like visualization about like my SP sleeping over, and he had never slept over before, and he had actually said many times that he didn't want to or whatever. And I did it for a couple days in a row, and like the very next time that we were together, he slept over. And it was like, the way that I was visualizing it was as if it was easy, natural, and that like it's something that happens all the time. And that's exactly the way in which it happened. It was like completely normal and natural. It was never even discussed. It just kind of happened, that even I was like, whoa, like it happened exactly as my visualization. He actually said the exact, like an exact phrase that I had like added into my visualization. I think it was something about like, I had added that he'd be like, oh, I'll take the dogs out for you or whatever. And that's exactly what he said. Like, it was exactly on point of what I was picturing. But when you're doing this, it's not really like about getting the thing to happen, because when you're thinking about it in a sense of like, okay, I'm doing this technique or this strategy, or I'm doing affirmations to get this thing to happen, then you start, okay, but where is it? But I've done all this work, but where is it? But where is it? And that's not necessarily helpful. So you're doing the thing because it's making you feel good, because you know that it's going to bring it to you. But don't focus so much about looking for it, because looking for it is just you not believing that it's done. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment and I can answer them in another video. And there's one more thing I wanted to say. Well, I guess I'll mention my courses in the promotion. If I remember, I'll add it on now. But we have a promotion going on. When we get to 100,000 subscribers, there's going to be 3 coaching sessions given away with the coach of your choice. So all you have to do is like, comment, subscribe, and write in the comments stories about how you've manifested something. It could be anything at all. I do have 3 courses now. My Living in the End course that I just referred to in this video. I have a new course about anxiety, like from a psychological perspective, and from a manifesting perspective, how to release anxiety. This course is also really good for anyone that's struggling maintaining a mental diet, or that are having just a lot of negative thoughts come up, because I cover that in that course really in depth. And my other course about manifesting your dream life, which is basically about making manifesting easy for you. And there's a meditation about that in there, and about just manifesting multiple things at once. So my link for coaching and for the courses in the description box below. What was the thing I wanted to add? All right, it's fine. I'll add it in another video if I remember. All right, bye.